voudrais faire la proposition de l'approbation de la réunion générale annuelle de l'année passée, c'est-à-dire 2017. I'd like to bring forward the motion to approve the minutes of last year's meeting, 2017.
And we need a seconder.
Do we have a seconder? Stephen? Are there any questions? Everyone approve? All in favor?
Abstentions.
Any abstentions? Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Thank you very much. Merci, Michel. Gisèle, pas Michel. Gisèle. It was. Now, I would like to give you my report as president of the Ottawa branch. J'aimerais bien vous présenter mon rapport comme président de la section Ottawa-Nunavut. My report can be found in the documents in your envelopes. Please read it in detail. I will limit myself to just the salient facts. First of all, Ottawa branch had a very busy year in 2017. And we hope that you will take pride in our efforts to keep the association strong and provide valuable and meaningful service to our members. One thing you will notice in my report is that we have tried whenever possible to recognize the specific volunteers by name who are helping us directly on key projects. On my part, I want to start by thanking both Stephen Troy, our past president, and Camille Guérin, our former branch manager. Camille, je pense qu'il est là, là-bas, who left us last May. They have supported me wholeheartedly as president, et je souhaite à Steve et Camille santé et succès pour l'avenir. In terms of the 2017 highlights, I want to thank Christine Deloge, our vice president and chair of the Membership and Services Committee, for the huge steps forward that Ottawa branch has taken to improve the financial literacy of our members. Over the years, through surveys and one-on-one feedback, we have heard that this is an important subject for you. Please read Christine's report on page 9. Christine a organisé avec succès la réunion de l'Assemblée générale en octobre dernier sur la gestion financière. She has also forged a partnership with Financial Consumers Agency of Canada so our members could participate in a national quiz to evaluate their financial literacy. The results confirm that we are on the right track to help our members better understand their financial situations. She went on to develop a collaborative partnership with Chartered Professional Accountants, CPA Canada, with CPA Canada expertise and the able assistance of Alain Corriveau, which I think is here today, one of our first new volunteers, who is also a CPA. By the end of this month, the Ottawa branch will have offered 15 free financial management training sessions to close to 400 members. The only cost to the branch has been printing the handouts. For example, in May, we will be offering a CPA Workshops on fraud prevention. If you are interested in attending one of these 90-minute workshops, please let one of our volunteers know and make sure you provide your email address to us so we can get back to you with the necessary arrangements. In addition, Michael Fine, is Michael here? Right? I don't see him. No, I don't think he's here. Michael? Okay. Michael Fine, a former board member, has just finished piloting a seminar for members who are already involved in managing their own investments. La rétroaction des participants fut très encourageante et Michael offrira le colloque de nouveau en mai et plus tard en 2019. You will find a registration form for the May seminar in your meeting envelope. It's the only document that is legal size, so it's a bit longer than the other documents. That's the registration form. If you are interested, please complete the form and give this form to a branch volunteer. Michael, voudrais-tu dire quelque chose sur ton colloque?
Oui, merci bien. Merci, Robert. Excusez-moi, mesdames et messieurs, j'étais juste à côté là, discutant investissement. Just to give you a brief flavor, we've developed over the past month or so an interactive seminar that I would call Investing 201 or 301, where the idea is to give you the information that you need so that you can make intelligent decisions in conversation with your investment advisor. So this seminar, which is 2.5 hour periods for a maximum of 20 people, is based on the idea that you need to be able to ask a lot of questions, get a lot of answers, and understand a lot of things that you may not be familiar with. So I don't want to oversell this. This is not about giving people advice on what specific investments to make. We cannot do that. We're not licensed. But it is about, as I say, giving you the information you need to demand the right kind of answers from your advisors. And very briefly, we talk about the classes of investments, such as equities, fixed income, real estate, whatever. We talk about the fees that are involved that you pay through mutual funds or to advisors. We talk about the effect of tax on your after-tax income. And finally, we talk about how do you build a model portfolio that's right for you. So the seminar, this round is May 23 and May 31, 2.5 hour periods. As Robert says, we have a form here. And where would you like this deposited, Linda?
Yeah, if you want, you can leave it with me if you'd like, or any of the volunteers at the registration desk, but leave it right for me and fill out the bottom and just give us your details so we can.
Right. And just to close and to give a pitch, Robert mentioned Smartfolio. Smartfolio is really what I would call for investors who are interested in the 101 course. This is for people who are already actively involved in managing their investments. Merci bien. Thank you, Robert.
Merci, Michael. It's a very interesting seminar. I missed it, but I understand that people were quite, the feedback we got was quite positive. So, pardon?
Coming to the next one.
I have no money to invest, Michael.
Not too high, just a little. That.
Okay, can you hear? Okay, merci. Next, I want to thank Keith Fernandez. Keith is not here this morning. He's Vice President and Chair of our Advocacy Committee for another strong year on the advocacy front. Keith and his volunteers were out in force at the Ontario Election Town Hall last week at the RA Centre. The national office organized this event with political party representatives based out of Toronto. Under Keith's guidance, the Ottawa branch has been working in concert with the national office to voice opposition to Bill C-27, Jean-Guy mentioned this, that would push employees of Federal Crown Corporation, among others, to give up their pensions like ours that are based on defined benefits. Our advocacy volunteers have also attended town hall meetings organized by local MPs and asked tough questions and voiced your concern. De ma part, Donald Derry, qui est le président de la section de l'Outaouais, de l'autre côté de la rivière, et moi avons eu une excellente rencontre avec Greg Fergus, député de Hull-Elmer. Après la rencontre, M. Fergus nous a envoyé la note suivante. Et elle est très importante. Je confirme, ça c'est le député, que le gouvernement libéral n'a pas l'intention de modifier le régime des pensions des retraités de la fonction publique fédérale, des Forces armées canadiennes, ainsi que la Gendarmerie royale. Mr. Fergus confirmed in writing that the Liberal government has no intention to change the pension regime for federal retirees from the public service, the Canadian Armed Forces, and the RCMP. However, we are very, very glad that Keith and his advocacy volunteers are keeping watch on this critical issue, and I would ask you to read Keith's report on page 8. I also want to thank Hélène Nadeau, who stepped in for Richard Wagner, the former chair of the Branch Community Liaison Committee, when he had to take a leave of absence. We are very grateful to the volunteers who work with Hélène on this committee because they are very active within our community and they maintain strong links with important groups such as the Ottawa Council on Aging, the City of Ottawa Senior Roundtable, and the Ottawa Senior Housing Alliance. Our community liaison volunteers also held 4 Neighbors Helping Neighbors workshops this year. These well-attended workshops focus on providing respite care for primary caregivers so that they do not become isolated within our community. And thanks to Terry Singh, who is a member of Hélène's committee and one of our board directors, we're also proud to note that Ottawa Branch is prominently involved with the city in the UN International Day of Older Persons every October. On doit aussi remercier Hélène de son excellent travail pour l'organisation de cette réunion ce printemps, ainsi que les bénévoles qui lui ont aidé. May you please join us in giving Hélène and her team of volunteers a round of applause. I encourage you to explore Hélène's full report on page 12 and the related report on page 13 from Lee Lauch, chair of the Bereavement Administrative Support Group. Lee and her group continue to offer much appreciated support to recently widowed members on administrative issues, and we know this is very much appreciated. I am happy to report that our Policy and Governance Committee is back up to full strength with the arrival of Linda Saunders. Linda is the newest member to join our board, and she has graciously agreed to chair this important committee. You can read Linda's report on page 7. Linda has been busy recruiting other members for her committee, and their work will start in earnest exactly at the end of this week to review the resolutions going forward for decisions at the annual members' meeting in June. The item that I've saved for last in my report is the formation of our newest committee, the Committee on Member Recruitment and Retention. 3 more new board members agreed to form this important group that is focused on stimulating membership growth. I'm very grateful to Chris Ford, who chairs this group, and Patricia Walsh and Harry Ruthnam for taking on this challenge. They know, as you do, our collective voice must be strong to protect our pensions and benefits, and that strength comes from our membership. The larger our membership, the stronger our influence, and the louder our voice. Par contre, notre adhésion a diminué dans les dernières années. On doit planifier pour l'avenir que plusieurs de nos membres ne rajeunissent pas. J'en suis un de ce groupe, malheureusement. Presque 40% de nos membres à travers le Canada ont l'âge de 70 ans et plus. Donc, nous avons besoin d'un plan et des activités pour augmenter notre adhésion. Nous devons aussi travailler en étroite collaboration avec le Bureau national. Our Recruitment and Retention Committee is dedicating itself to exploring recruitment best practices across the country and coming up with a strategy that will work as well in Ottawa. You can read more about it about their early plans on page 11. But in the meantime, you can take action also. Comme membre, vous êtes nos meilleurs recruteurs. You are our best recruiters. Vous connaissez la section et ses activités. Vous êtes les mieux placés pour faire valoir la valeur d'être membre de la section d'Ottawa. Right now, Ottawa Branch has just over 34,000 members. If each one of you could reach out to just one other person that is not a member, who is getting ready to retire from the federal government, the military, or the RCMP, or who is already retired but not a member, we could grow our membership significantly. You are our best recruiter. You can tell these people what the Ottawa branch is doing, the advantages of being with the Ottawa branch, the advocacy importance of the National Association and its Ottawa branch. All you need to do is share your experience with the association with them. And to help you do this, we have developed a simple brochure that you will find in your meeting envelope. That's the brochure. You should have all of that. You should have that in your envelope, which provides all the information that you need to give. So take the brochure, give it to someone who's not a member. Encourage them to look at it and to become a member. Avant de terminer mon rapport, je voudrais remercier sincèrement Linda Barber, our new branch manager, and Marianne Zwicker, our office manager, both of whom work tirelessly to support our branch and all of the activities that I mentioned above. And there are many more, as you will read in my report. That concludes my President's report. Do you have questions?
Helen McGurn. I was wondering if the association was involved with any of the Phoenix issues, especially for new retirees.
Yes, and I think that best answered. I wonder, Jean-Guy, if you could provide an answer to this, because it's the National Association that really got involved with this.
It's useless to go to the government and say you're in trouble with Phoenix, okay? We all know it's a problem. They've admitted it's going to take years and years and years to resolve. What we did do, though, is make a survey of recent retirees, and we got a whole lot of feedback. We met with the Chief Human Resources Officer at Treasury Board, and what we asked, and it was reported in the newspapers recently, what we asked is that when an individual intends to retire and indicates to retire, clean the file before it's sent to the pay office. Now, for new retirees, there is a problem, and they clean the file, but there are so many adjustments to make that the pensioner will get paid about 99% of what he or she is supposed to be getting, but these adjustments that are a result of collective bargaining or sick leave or whatever provisions may not be resolved. So when we got the survey back, it indicated that there's not really a huge problem yet with people retiring and getting their pension. The pay office, remember that these are two very different systems. The Phoenix system applies to when you're an employee, and when the file is transferred to Shediac, that's the pay system for pensioners, and that's clean. And we have excellent relationship with Shediac. We cannot, as an association, give hope to individuals and we cannot take on the cases of individuals because it's beyond. The only thing we can say, try to resolve it. But we are sensitive and we are kept informed. We work very closely with unions because we have had good contacts and have supported what unions are doing for employees. I don't know anything else we can do except if you know someone who can make a miracle and get this out of the way. That's the only thing that will resolve the problem.
I have a question.
Merci, Jean-Guy. Yes, please.
Yeah, more of a recommendation or a selling feature. My name is Aziz, and I guess the biggest selling feature I find before it was FSNA, now it's Nurses Association, is the MEDOC travel plan. As a family member, I think MEDOC offers us one of the best travel plan, and I think this is one of the best selling feature which I've been able to recommend to most of my colleagues. Compared many other plans, and obviously there's a more flexibility. Question I have is, are there any similar bulk buying or another other plans which the board may be able to consider to offer to its members?
Yeah, well, you're quite right with the MEDOC plan. I myself used it in the past, found it valuable. If you go on the National Association website, you will see that they have a list of what they call preferred partners, organizations that provide advantages to our member, and we also have at the Ottawa level, again on our website, a list of our member discount programs that are interested. They're certainly not at the scale of MEDOC. But we've mentioned this morning the program that we negotiated with BMO and so on and so forth that could be attractive to future members. Madame, would you join? No, I'm supposed to. Okay, you're supposed to look. And any other questions? Thank you very much. I will move now to the next item on our agenda, the Ottawa Branch Treasurer's Report. Now, I will present the report because I was treasurer for the year 2017. I'm very grateful that Harry Whitnam has taken over for 2018, and Harry will be talking to you in a few minutes. You have in your meeting envelope a copy of the audited financial statement for the Ottawa branch for 2017, which statements have been approved by the Board of Directors. I am happy to advise you that the independent auditor, Fruin Group, CA, gave the branch a clean, unqualified audit report. You will note that the Ottawa branch financial statement only show 1 year, 2017. This is because the Ottawa branch has only officially been in existence at a charter branch for 1 year. As mentioned earlier, members voted to establish the unincorporated charter branch at the 2016 fall members meeting. Last year, we had a surplus of $24,700. This surplus is due to the funds that National Office provided to reimburse us for the legal costs that the branch incurred over the last few years to set up the charter branch and repurpose the corporation that owns the condo building. Je remercie Jean-Guy ainsi que le Bureau national pour leur rapport à ce sujet. You will also note that we are showing approximately $19,000 as an expense in rent. Given our new structure, all the costs to operate out of the condo building are considered to be rental costs incurred by the branch. Therefore, our financial statements in the future will show us paying rent to the repurposed corporation that owns the condo building. Plus tard, lorsque nous traiterons des états financiers vérifiés de la corporation, vous noterez que le loyer payé devient un revenu. The rent paid becomes a revenue to the corporation. We were very careful with our spending in 2017. We did incur greater expenditures in human resources than originally budgeted, but these were one-time only costs related to transition. We were able to make economies in several places, including the 2017 spring AGM, the fall general members meeting, and our branch attendant at the annual members meeting. We also saved on committee expenses, office expenses, and volunteer travel costs. Je note aussi que nous avons un actif net positif non affecté de 77 589 à la fin de 2017. I call this a reserve. Je vous invite à consulter le rapport du trésorier à la page 4 de vos documents. Are there any questions on the treasurer's report before I move to attest that the members have received the 2017 audited financial statements for the Ottawa branch? Thank you. Can someone make a motion to attest that you have received these financial statements? Stephen Troy. May I have a seconder, please? Laura? Linda Saunders. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Any questions? All those in favor? Thank you. Any abstention? Any opposed? Thank you. The motion is carried. I would like to ask Harry Rutnam at this time, our new treasurer, to come and speak to you.
Okay, thanks. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour à vous tous. I would like to make as the my first official function as Ottawa branch treasurer is to bring forward a motion to approve the reappointment of the present auditor. That's for a group that did the audit for the 2017 financial statements for the branch, for the Ottawa branch, and that is the motion that I'd like to put forward for 2018. So may I have a seconder, please? Terry Singh. Thank you. The motion is seconded by? Terry. Okay. Any questions? All those in favor? Any abstentions? Any opposed? Thank you. The motion is carried. My second item of business is to speak to you briefly about the Ottawa branch budget forecast for 2018. You will find this forecast on page 5 of the handout that's in the documents accompanying the agenda. As you will see from our figures, we are not forecasting any growth in our membership dues over 2017. While we have high hopes for your efforts as individual member recruiters, we know that this will take some time to realize. We also want to coordinate our efforts with the national strategy on recruitment that is under development, so we felt it was prudent on our part not to forecast any increase in the membership now, but we remain hopeful that an increase in the membership revenue is a real possibility in the coming future. If not this year, then in the near future we hope to have the increased membership. So with no new revenue, we intend to be very prudent with our expenditures in 2018. We still have some legal bills to pay for the last steps in repurposing the corporation to own the condo building. For example, the fees to revise the corporation bylaws that members will be asked to approve later this morning. However, we want to continue to pursue the new initiatives that you have heard our President speak about earlier. So you will see that we are forecasting a modest increase in expenditure for our board committees. Fortunately, now that the one-time transition costs are behind us, our human resource costs will be significantly less in 2018. This is essentially the reason for the lower spending forecast in 2018 in services to the members, which you will find on page 5. It will be important for us to stretch our dollars and find innovative ways to partner with others. There is another reason why the partnership with the CPA Canada that Robert mentioned earlier will be so appealing to us. It is really appealing to us. Our members get top quality financial literacy training, and the only cost that is involved in getting these talks on financial literacy has been the printing for handouts to our members. When we had the opportunity to cross-market with the Ottawa Symphony Orchestra, we seized that opportunity, and this was at no cost to us at all. The Ottawa Symphony Orchestra agreed to put an advertisement for membership in their concert programs. In return, we agreed to promote the discount that the Symphony Orchestra was offering our members, and you will likely recall seeing the announcements that we made in our electronic newsletters about their concerts. Because of this partnership, we also ended up having a recruitment booth at the National Arts Centre in downtown Ottawa. And this is another reason why we are very appreciative of the sponsorship that we have received from the BMO Smartfolio for the refreshments that we are all enjoying at this meeting this morning. You can expect to see us reach out to other organizations that are part of our members' discount program in 2018 to see if they are interested in such an opportunity. You can rest assured that your board of directors is committed to watching our expenses very closely and to ensuring that we adhere to a balanced budget. I would be pleased to answer any questions that you may have. Yes.
Hi, good morning. Michael Fine. With regard to strategy to recruit more members, one of the members recently here mentioned the value of MEDOC and the MEDOC program. And I thought I'd use the opportunity while the national president was here to mention that this branch has tried for 3 years to do a joint promotional program with national office to promote MEDOC as a way to recruit new members. And I'm wondering why that has never gotten forward and what the national office is doing to recruit new members using MEDOC. Thank you.
Robert?
I'm quite sure that our national president, of course, has heard your comment, Michael. The national office is right in the middle right now of developing a recruitment strategy, quite detailed, and we are making sure that they, at a point in time, they will connect with our recruitment and retention committee chaired by Chris Ford, who's in front of you, in order to look at initiatives that can be taken. You can rest assured that joint efforts with the national office and the branch, because a very large branch, and people appreciate MEDOC, that was made clear by one of the participants, will be a part of the things we will be considering in that context.
Any more questions from our membership? Thank you very much for your time. Now I will return the podium back to Robert. Merci
Well, I
beaucoup.
enjoyed the rest there. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm old, so I need it. Oh, I'm looking at Stephen. When he was president, he never said that he was old. Merci, Harry. Maintenant, nous devons procéder à l'élection des directeurs du conseil d'administration pour 2018. Cette année, le comité exécutif de la section a agi comme comité des candidatures. As you can see from the booklet marked Election of Directors in your kit, in your meeting envelope, the nominating committee ensured that proper notice went out in the spring 2018 edition of SAGE to invite nominations for candidates to join the board. In the meantime, as you will see from your booklet, the nominating committee developed a slate of 8 excellent candidates that the board of directors has approved to put forward. In keeping with our bylaws, their proposed terms have staggered end dates. Nous recommandons des termes de 2 ans pour les présidents de comité et des termes d'1 an pour les autres directeurs. Ceci nous permettrait de mieux gérer les départs des directeurs qui nous laissent en 2019. As no other candidates have come forward, an election with ballots is not necessary, and these 8 candidates can be elected by acclamation. I will ask them to stand up when I call their names, those who are here. Christine Deloge. Keith Fernandez is not here. Chris Ford. Harry Rootnam. Linda Saunders. Robert Wagner. And these are for a 2-year term. Those 7 that I've just mentioned are for a 2-year term. And for a 1-year term, Terry Singh and Patricia Walsh, who's not here this morning. Il me fait plaisir de déclarer l'élection des 8 directeurs par acclamation selon les mandats spécifiés. Le tout sera noté dans le procès verbal. Please join me with a warm round of applause for these dedicated and newly elected volunteers. Now, I would like to open the floor to our members for question before I ask for a motion to adjourn this AGM. Any further questions? Okay, if there are no questions, I will now call for a motion to adjourn this AGM, and we will proceed into this. Whoops. Oh, there was a question. Okay, sorry, I missed it.
No, I just had a comment on,
Your name, please?
oh, Tony Shaw.
Okay.
I just want to make a comment about your quest and volunteers. I was just going to say that, there are many other organizations seeking volunteers, and I'm just wondering if today's volunteers are retiring healthier, traveling more, taking on interesting work projects, often remunerative, rather than just retiring and staying put until expire, like my grandparents, to a greater degree. And I think that's putting greater volunteer pressure on all groups that are seeking volunteers, especially those with declining enrollment. For example, churches, the Royal Canadian Legion, I know I'm getting hit on with those, and governments downloading on communities like where I live, and the community, the trails are kept open with volunteers, so we do that half day a week. And the community government even has asked retirees to write proposals for things that normally would have been done by paid staff in the past. So in any event, maybe all of these things are putting pressure in your ability to find volunteers. Anyways, not so much a question as a comment.
Yes, very much. Thank you for your comment. You've just illustrated that getting volunteers is a very competitive market. And we have found, because I think we've been relatively successful, and I hope that some of you will put your names down this morning. I think it's the yellow sheet that Linda is over there. We found that volunteers like to participate. They like to, some like to be on boards of directors, and we're quite grateful for them. Some like to participate in brainstorming sessions, which Christine has used a lot, in terms of what kind of service should we offer members. Some don't like to be part of committees. They like to deal with a specific project. Some like to work, for example, in organizing a meeting like today. Some like to support the office, and we say, we've said that one of the areas that we need support is people that are familiar, that are very comfortable with information technology system to help us with our website and other activities. So, no, you're quite right. Your comment is definitely well taken. It is a challenge, but you have certainly my commitment and the commitment of the board of directors that our volunteers will not be sitting there doing nothing or only asked to be on committees that meet now and then. they will be participating actively in the activities of the association. Any other comments? May I have a motion to adjourn the 2018 meeting? You don't want me to end this meeting, right?
You would make it early. We'd never get a meeting that ends early. Lynn Middleton, my comment is I think we need to recruit the people who are about to retire. And what are we doing to do that? That, you know, we could help, but we need some method of recruiting them, because your advocacy is what we all need.
And what you're pointing out is the key challenge in terms of our recruitment activity. We will have opportunities in the next month or so. Public Service Week, and we will look at possibilities of talking to people in the various departments and so on. We will also have the Apex meeting, as I understand. I will be participating in some of the booths that are taking place over there. But you're quite right. We have to go after those that are retiring, and you can be assured that our Recruitment and Retention Committee has identified this as a very key source for us to attack in terms of membership recruitment. Yes?
Hi, my name is Karen Breek. I do some contract work as a retired military person with a group called Retirement Planning Institute. So they are the group that, for the most part, does all of the pre-retirement lectures for federal government. So I know I personally am speaking to over 4,000 federal government workers every year prior to retirement. I personally tell them all that this is an amazing organization for them to join. Just as a contractor to that company, though, FSNA at that time always used to give a brochure that would be part of all the retirement planning, and used to actually offer all of the people on a retirement planning a 1-year free subscription. I don't know any of the politics, but I just know that that's stopped, so that isn't happening right now. But that would be an obvious route of one way every federal government worker is being through the retirement planning seminars. So I would suggest looking at that as a way to link into that group. And if I can, being retired military, we're a different group that has SCAN seminars. And I never have seen this organization still being represented at the military retirement, which is another angle to come at.
Very good point, and we have taken note of your comment, and thank you very much for. There's a lady over there and then a gentleman over there. Yes.
Bonjour, mon nom est Diane Bouchard. Je voudrais faire suite à votre commentaire pour essayer de recruter des membres. Si l'an prochain, à la réunion annuelle, nous essayons d'amener une personne avec nous qui est près de se retirer, peut-être ça les intéresserait au moins d'assister à une réunion et puis déciderait d'adhérer comme membre. Voilà.
Excellente suggestion, ça a déjà été soulevé et nous allons le prendre en considération sérieusement pour l'an prochain. Yes.
My name is Robert Louis. We are talking about serious matters here. For the fund side, would the association will be able to provide spaces for the seniors to drop in and play cards or play other games and things like that, so that you can attract more people and a chance to get more volunteers?
I have difficulty. You said providing space?
But space for people to drop in, and the seniors to drop in and play cards or any other games they like.
Your seniors to drop in where? At our national, at our branch office, or?
Yeah, wherever you have space. You have 24K left over now.
Right, okay, great, good point, thank you. Other points? Now, will you allow me my motion? Fred Lyle, move. May I have a seconder? Chris Ford. Any questions? All those in favor? Thank you very much. Any abstentions? Any opposed? The motion is carried. How are we doing time? Oh, we're doing well time-wise.